Hey everyone, welcome back to the Lois Banks Ministry. I'm your host, Lois Banks. You know, a lot is going on since the Oscars, and I just wanted to come and briefly touch on that. I think the last video I did earlier this week was a message to Jada, teaching her how to reverse alopecia. But as the days go by and I think about that whole situation between Will Smith and Chris Chris Rock, it just makes me think about how important it is to be in a place of healing, and you can only get to that place of healing when you accept the Lord Jesus, have him in your heart, and you are living for him. So of course, I'm always praying for people in Hollywood, people who don't know the Lord, because they think the money is the answer, and that's not the answer. I mean, money helps you to purchase things, to live a certain way, but it doesn't bring you peace. And it doesn't bring you salvation, because you can't buy salvation, you can't buy peace. um you know I'm just talking to you so that you'll understand why I've been sending out so many messages this week about what the world saw on national television, and I wanted to address it as information and thoughts were coming to my mind to address, because there are a lot of people who have anger management issues. They don't know how to control their spirit, and they just go off and pop off, and you can kill somebody not being able to control your temper. And that was crazy what we saw on television with Will Smith. He has a problem, and it needs to be addressed, and we do not need to be babying him and making excuses for him. He needs to go seek some help. Number one, he need the Lord. Number two, he need to go learn how to control his anger when he gets mad, or he's going to hurt somebody. Seriously now. Of course, I'm praying for Chris Rock as well. And I know that slap had to hurt that man on that whole side of his face. I think it was the left side. Oh my God, that man's face must have been on fire. And he took it like a champ. But I posted a message earlier today that, I have 4 children. My sons toughened up the girls. I taught my children, and they are Holy Ghost filled, fire baptized, okay? To protect themselves, to defend themselves. If y'all would have seen somebody slap my children on stage, my son, y'all would have seen fists flying. I'm not an advocate of violence, but I do believe you have a right to defend yourself. I also taught my children not to provoke any fights and to mind their own business. So, they're not going to defend themselves now unless you step to them first. Okay? Like if you step up to my children and you want to play them slapping games, it's going to go down. So that's how I trained them. I ain't teach my children to tuck and run. No, I don't care if if 39 billion people are watching them. They are to defend themselves. You don't just let nobody just beat up on you. So I just wanted to make sure that I stopped by and shared some thoughts with you. You do have a right to protect yourself. You have a right to protect yourself. You don't have to just stand there and let somebody whoop on your tail. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that with you. And to also share an incident that happened with me being a nurse. I remember working on the floor as a nurse, and one of the seniors, the certified nursing assistants who was assigned to my floor, she was verbally abusing one of my patients who had issues with walking, could not get up and go to the bathroom on their own. And I happened to be walking down the hall, get ready to do some rounds, checking on my patients. And I heard this woman yell verbally to my patient. And I checked that. I said, hey, pulled her aside. I said, this gentleman right here, he cannot walk to the bathroom on his own. He needs your assistance. Please do not yell at him. He cannot help himself. He needs your assistance. I said, can you please walk on the other side of the room, get his urinal, bring it back to him, put it on the side of his bed. So just in case if you're busy and you can't get to him right away, at least he can get his urinal out and urinate. And then, you know, you guys can go from there. I was very nice. I was very calm. I was trying to diffuse the situation because the gentleman was like so upset that this certified nursing aide was yelling at him for not being able to get up and go to the bathroom by himself. I'm not going to let nobody abuse my patients, okay? I didn't yell at her. I was very professional, pulled her to the side, had a conversation with her, went back in the room, had a conversation with my patient, let him know that everything was going to be okay and that his urinal was going to be on the side of the bed from now on whenever he needed it. And if he turned his light on and I saw the light, I would come in there and help him myself. If the nursing assistant was, you know, busy. You know, I have to protect my nursing license. So, you know, I have to be on point at all times, okay? Y'all, I went across the hall to go help another patient and do rounds and give medication. That certified nursing assistant followed me in the room, which is not unusual, especially if they're doing rounds and checking on patients as well. But when she walked behind me, this woman swung at me. She didn't hit me. It was an air swing. I ducked, and there was an empty bed behind me. I leaned back on that bed. I took both of my feet, put them in her chest, and pushed her all the way across the floor in the room. And she went flying across the room and landed on the floor. I do not be playing. You ain't going to swing on me, and I ain't going to do nothing about it. Swing on me if you want. I'm going to defend myself. Now, she didn't hit the patient or anything like that. And then when the supervisor had to do an investigation, my patient said Miss Banks was in the room talking to me, and the lady just came behind her, just swung for no reason. I had backup. People be loose like that. People be crazy. People be having stuff loose up in their head, and you don't know what is going to tick them off. Y'all, I had to go stand before a judge and tell the judge what happened. This lady lost her job and everything. It was the craziest thing. The lawyer for the company that I was working with, they said, Lois, we go through these crazy stuff all the time. He said, I'm right here representing you. You just tell the judge what happened. I told the judge what happened. The judge was an older man. He wanted to find out why was the lady verbally abusing the other patient, and why did she follow me in the room and swing at me when all I told her was the truth. I'm trying to tell y'all now, Satan be coming up with these crazy, bizarre scenarios, and you can't be no wimp out here walking with the Lord. You can't let nobody just beat on you and kick your tail and do what the heck they want to do. Oh no, I'm not having it. So I just want to make sure I bring some balance to the people who say they belong to the Lord. You don't let nobody whoop on you. You know what I'm saying? If you are in a situation where someone is swinging on you and trying to hurt you, you have every right to defend yourself. You do not have to sit there and let nobody whoop up on you. I wasn't raised like that. So I want to make sure that I address those physical attacks, because they do happen. Just like what we saw on the Oscars. You will see people snap, lose their minds, and want to physically fight you. Okay, now let's talk about Chris Rock. Okay, Chris Rock doing his stand-up jokey joke. All stuff is not funny. People take jokes differently. You know, some people, they might be a little hurt behind it because they may be a little sensitive about it. Do the rolling of the eyes like Jada did. You know, laugh to play it off. Some people are, you know, insulted, offended. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to like a sensitive topic. And definitely you can tell that Jada is very sensitive about her hair loss journey, as most women would be. So hey, you know, part of a comedian's life is, apparently they make fun of people. You know, they make money making fun of people. It'd be nicer if they could find a topic that was funny and humorous, and not devalue anybody and not humiliate anybody while they're doing it. It'd be nice if they would be able to find a niche or find something that they can laugh about and talk about, where, you know, you're not destroying people. So you have to be careful with your words, even when you're a comedian. And so I guess apparently Mr. Will Smith and his wife Jada, I guess together some kind of way, they didn't figure out they wasn't gonna take no shots at him no more. And I guess that was the night. Will decided he was gonna flip the script. However he got there and he flipped, because he did it in front of 3 billion people. That's crazy. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? You got 3 billion people, police officers, law enforcement, everybody watching that bull crap, and you can't control yourself. There's a problem there. Even if you didn't like something that somebody said, there's a mature way to handle that thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a mature way to handle that thing. That is, yeah, something wrong. Something wrong with that whole picture. Somebody need to lower, somebody's mind need to be in peace. And people need to learn how to talk to each other. I just, you know, I know that people make jokes. People make jokes for a living. And I know a lot of people, their hearts are hard. We living in times where, you know, people don't care about how you feel. These are the times we living in. You know, we living in those type of times. So, you know, I personally don't think bald head jokes are funny. I got a head full of hair, but I don't think it's funny. I think because I'm a healer and I'm a nurse. Anytime people feel sad when a joke is being spoken on their behalf, you know, for a laugh, you know, I don't think that's funny when you destroy people's spirit and when you destroy people's character. I don't think there's anything funny about that. I think there's something sick behind that. And but some of people who have a harsh heart, you know, an unkind spirit, think that bull crap is funny. It's not funny to me. I don't personally like to see people suffer in any fashion, you know, mentally, spiritually, physically. I don't like that. And so, of course, you know, I prayed for Chris Rock and uh and Will Smith and Jada and that whole family. Because I'm telling y'all, when you let somebody see your weak spot, they gonna take that and they gonna use it against you. You don't never let nobody see you sweat. You don't let nobody see you break down. Don't do that in front of people. Do that in the privacy of your home. You know what I'm saying? If something is ticking you off, y'all do that in the privacy of your home. Don't be doing that all in front of everybody, because somebody's going to use that against you. And then with Chris Rock not defending himself and standing there and just took that hit and not, you know, he didn't defend himself. When he did his comedy show in Boston, there was somebody heckling in the audience. And see, that gives people who are unstable in their mind a reason to try to jump up on stage and hit people. You see what I'm saying? There's like copycats out there. And Chris had to hire additional protection now, because this man didn't defend himself. He just stood there and took it. I don't care if he was on national television in front of 3 billion people. Somebody hit you, you have a right to protect yourself. And send a message out to anybody else who got a thought in their mind to run up on that stage and to hurt you. You have a right to protect yourself. So I just wanted to make sure I shared that thought with you. And to also say that not too long ago, I had an opportunity to pray with someone. I just met this person, and I asked if I could pray for them, and I asked them to measure their legs, and one leg was shorter than the other. And the first thing I say to people is, you know, listen, I don't want you to get freaked out and scared when I pray. You know, I just flow in the power of God, which we all should. And when I prayed and gave a command, the leg grew out like it was supposed to. Now, for me, flowing in the power of God, it's like drinking water. It's just a part of me, because God is inside of me. But, you know, I do realize that the world is not used to seeing for real sons and daughters of God. They're used to seeing a whole bunch of shenanigans and people wanting their money, but cannot demonstrate the power of the living God. Okay, I'm about my Father's business. When I know that somebody's in need and somebody needs something from the Lord, you know, He's right inside of me. I just release Him and let God be God. So be encouraged, you know, through all the craziness and all the shenanigans that's going on in the world. Stay focused about your Father's business. Be a light to the world. Encourage people to heal and to do things, you know, the right way. You do, again, have a right to protect yourself, not let nobody beat you down, beat your tail. You got a right to protect yourself. And so, you know, I'm from the old school generation. You don't let nobody just whoop on your tail and not protect yourself. You have a right to protect yourself. So this is Lois Banks coming to you from the Lois Banks ministry. Y'all, we got a lot of praying to do. In my ministry, I have the opportunity, if you can see right behind me, to meet a lot of stars, a lot of people in television and movies and film, Hollywood producers and directors. You know, I had an opportunity to meet a lot of great people. So they need prayer too. But fortunately, the people that God brought to my ministry are people who already know the Lord. They know how to behave. They know that picking a fight It's not what we do. They know that running up to somebody and hitting them in the face just because they said something with some words is not the thing to do. The people that God brought in my life are people who were raised well. They have some common sense. They have godly principles. And that's the difference. There's a lot of people out there who are not saved and filled with the Holy Ghost. So their behavior is going to be very interesting because they don't know the Lord and they're getting off into some other stuff. So y'all, we're just going to keep everybody in prayer. People who don't know the Lord. I know that Will Smith apologized. He needs to apologize, and he needs to be rebuked, and he needs to be reprimanded for that horrible display of violence and physical abuse. That was such a horrifying message he sent to the world, and just one apology, that is just not good enough. I mean, yes, you're supposed to apologize when you're wrong. You're supposed to be remorseful, but he needs to have several seats. Something else needs to be happening. I know that Chris Rock is not going to press any charges, rightfully so, because Chris Words got that mess provoked. He should have used a different joke. And so, I understand some of the reasons why Chris is not going to press charges. But something needs to happen with Will. That was like the punishment didn't fit the crime. So he needs to, he needs some kind of, he had a breakdown. He needs some kind of, and Jada need to get it together too, because I don't know. I would have been like, you better sit down. We're not doing that here. No. You know what I'm saying? I want to let that go on like that. No. So I'm praying for the whole Smith family. Praying for the whole Smith family to accept the Lord Jesus, and they are praying for Chris Rock as well. As you can see, I'm not on nobody's side. I'm not on the joke telling side, talking about bald heads, devaluing people, and I'm not on the side of nobody picking a fight, in front of 3 billion people and slapping a man. I'm not for any of that. That was a hot mess. That was such a hot mess. So shame on all that foolishness going on in TV. And the thing that ticks me off the most is that they were black. They always talk about black men being violent and doing stuff like that. And our people got a history of coming out of slavery and being mistreated, being slapped, being called names, bald head names, all kinds of stuff. Why would you even bring a slavery mentality to the Oscars? Like, why? Why would you even do that? You know what I'm saying? Why would you fight with each other? We should not be fighting with each other. We should be helping each other, building each other up, and just promoting each other to do well. I don't like this inward fighting stuff. That's got to go. That's just something wrong. Something wrong with this whole picture. So I just want to talk about the things that sometimes you just have to defend yourself. You find yourself in a situation where somebody's trying to hurt you, and you got to protect yourself. Don't just sit there and let somebody whoop your tail and beat on you. I don't care who's looking. You protect yourself. Protect yourself to the best of your ability. And if you're or woman and you're getting beat on, you know you got to get up out that situation. You got to go to a shelter. You got to call 911. You got to come up out of that. You don't just sit there and let no man beat on you, okay? So this is Lois Banks coming to you from the Lois Banks Ministry. I know this video has a little bit of all kinds of conversation in it, but these are the things that are fresh on my mind and on my spirit, because I see some people side for Will. Some people are siding with Chris. I ain't siding with neither one of them. Neither one of them. Both of them are at fault. And when your heart is right and you can see what both of them did, you will be able to do the same thing. So this is Lois Banks coming to you from the Lois Banks Ministry. I am praying for Chris, because that slap had to have hurt. My God. His jaw and his face and everything on that side. Oh my God. I'm praying for him. And for Will, that mental breakdown, whatever is going on with you, man, I am praying for you to get yourself under control. Learn how to master your spirit. What a horrible example you showed your children. That was horrible. And so, I'm not condoning violence. I'm not condoning name calling either. But you do have a right to protect yourself. This is Lois Banks coming to you from the Lois Banks Ministry. God bless you.